Are you looking for an awesome travel trailer made by Brinkley? Well, whether you're looking for a travel trailer for couples or a Brinkley travel trailer for families, stick around folks. We review one of each in this video. Hey everybody, Mike from RVBlogger here in front of the camera, and Susan's behind the camera. And if you've seen us before on YouTube, welcome back to the channel. And if this is your first time seeing us, welcome aboard. Susan and I drive all around the country visiting RV shows and dealerships so that we can shoot our tours of RVs and bring them to you in the comfort of wherever you are. We also invite you to check out our private Facebook group called RV Camping for Newbies. It's not just for newbies though, it's for everybody that's interested in RV camping, and it's a whole lot of fun. We have over 170 some thousand people in the group, and they all exchange great ideas like where to go camping, camping recipes, how to fix things, and mostly they just have fun and have a good time meeting each other in the group. So head on over to RV Camping for Newbies and get yourself signed up today. And by the way, if you leave your first name and your email address, you'll also get a free subscription to RV Today e-magazine, and you'll also receive our weekly newsletters, which are full of great information, but also big discounts from all the partners that we work with for RV products and services within the industry. But without any further ado, let's get started on our reviews of awesome Brinkley travel trailers for couples or for families. This travel trailer is the Brinkley Model I-265. The MSRP is $76,427, which you should never pay. The unloaded vehicle weight is 7,298 pounds. The cargo carry capacity is 2,302 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 9,600 pounds. The hitch weight is 659 pounds. It measures in at 29 feet, 11 inches long, and it can sleep 2 to 4 people depending on if you get theater seats or the couch in the living room. The gray tank capacity is 80 gallons, the black tank holds 40 gallons, and the freshwater capacity is 55 gallons. When you first walk into this travel trailer, on the left-hand side is the coat hook area and the bathroom. Then we wrap on around through the living area and kitchen, and behind me here is the bedroom. Now, our first impression when we walk into this unit is that this is a really fantastic couples camper. I mean, if it was the two of us and we had to go camping in this trailer, I think we would be very, very happy. I don't think it's necessarily a full-time kind of unit or even a three-quarter time kind of unit, but for you to go on some awesome weekend adventures and even some extended camping, this is an awesome travel trailer for a lot of different reasons. Now, first of all, I'll start on this side. When you first walk into the door, you've got a couple of coat hooks right here, so you can hang up your jackets and hats and keys or whatever you need to. Right above that, though, all of your controls are right here, and they're nicely covered and out of the way because of this nice cabinet door. Now, to my right, we've got this frosted window here, and the window frosts and becomes clear at different times depending on how you're using it. We don't have any power in this unit right now, so I can't show that to you, but it's still really cool. So you can sit here at your desk, or you can use this as your dinette, and you have a beautiful view outside of your campsite. Now, this also serves as your TV location. You just lower this white screen down, and then you've got this projector in the ceiling, and that shows a nice clear TV picture here on your screen. Now, there's also a way that it says you can show outside, and I'm not sure if you project that picture onto this window, if it will show the picture outside or not. Again, there's no power, so I can't test anything, but for those of you that own Brinkleys, maybe you could leave a comment in the comments down below and let us know for sure. We would really appreciate your help. But all in all, it's a really, really cool setup. Now, the desk in here serves as both your desk and your dinette, and we've done quite a few videos on travel trailers with no dinette, but we've also had more and more of our viewers ask, hey Mike and Susan, can you do a review of a travel trailer that has like a dinette bar kind of setup that you could use as a desk or a bar, and then you can look out the window? And sure enough, you asked for it, we delivered. Here it is. We didn't build it though. Brinkley did that. But anyway, you've got that set up here, and let me find those latches again. There they are. Kind of hard to find them. But there's a couple of latches underneath of here and then you can fully extend this desk all the way out. So this would be when you get to your campsite if you wanted to pull this all the way out. It does come with a couple of these chairs. The other one is stowed away under the bed in the bedroom, and I'll show you all that when we get to that part of the tour. But anyway, you can, you know, sit here and enjoy working on your computer, enjoy a meal, look out the window. It even has this nice little desk drawer here, you know, with all these dividers and stuff in here, so you can truly make this a workstation. Or I don't know, I guess this could be your silverware drawer, and when you sit down to eat, you know, you just pull out your knife and your fork and your spoon and you're good to go. But I think it's more of a desk kind of setup. And then when you push it in, it clicks into place, and that would be how it sits for your travel mode. Now underneath of here, there are 4 cabinet doors that open up. There's plenty of space underneath of there for additional storage. When you close these doors, they all have this soft touch close on the doors of all the cabinetry in here, which is really nice. That way you don't hear doors slamming all the time and that sort of thing. But a very nice fit and finish, very well done in here for sure. Now as we wrap on around through the kitchen area, kind of starting up top here, you've got this nice cabinet above, and then you've got a good sized window over top of your kitchen sink area. And then check out this corner cabinet. So these are all cabinets that are used in people's homes. I used to be in the home building industry, and so we didn't do things like have blind corners and stuff like that. You would put in a nicer cabinet with better hardware, and you would come up with a door like this, and now you can access all of the space in here, because otherwise you might be left with one door that opens and then you have blind cabinet that you can't reach, or you have 2 doors that open here and it's very awkward. So they just made it all into one, and then boom, there you go. Above that, we've got one big storage cabinet up top here with 2 doors to access it. And then below that, you've got your microwave oven, which is also a convection oven here as well. Very, very good size, by the way, for this size rig. You can cook a lot of stuff in there. You can get a whole pizza in there, which is fantastic. Down below that, we have a beautiful 3-burner cooktop here. Very nicely laid out. It looks very high quality, nicely done. And then it's got this beautiful backsplash behind it, which is great. If you get any splatter on the walls, it's easier to clean the backsplash. You don't mess up your trailer walls and things like that. And then as we wrap on around, you've got plenty of countertop space here. There is an outlet above here as well, so if you need to plug in any kitchen appliances, you can. And then we have this really nice big rectangular deep single bowl sink. And then you've got this beautiful faucet overhead, and this detaches so it becomes a sprayer as well. Very, very nicely done. Hey, let us know in the comments down below though if you prefer a double bowl sink or a single sink in your rig, and why. We would love to hear from you guys in the comments below. That seems to be an issue that's going on. We have a double bowl sink in ours, and Susan is considering switching over to a single bowl. So let us know your thoughts on that matter as well. Now down below the cabinetry here, there's also, well above I should say, there's also another outlet over here. So if you want to set up a coffee pot or any other appliances over here, you could easily do that too. Then we get into the drawers in here. I did pull out one of the drawers, and I did find a couple of nice things. First of all wood sides, very nicely done. You've got your dovetail finish here to help these drawers stay together better. But the drawer bottoms, there's a groove on all 4 sides of the cabinet, and this drawer bottom fits into all 4 grooves. It's not just stapled up from underneath, and that's what makes this a really nice quality kitchen drawer. Now the drawers themselves don't have the soft touch close. They just stop, but you can close them the rest of the way. It's really the doors, I guess, that you want to avoid the slamming. So that's why they have the soft close touch on the doors. Down below, we have even more space under here, and then underneath of your kitchen sink, lots of space too. And this is also prepped for a dishwasher. If you wanted to put a dishwasher in underneath, you can do that. The plumbing pipes are set up to accept the drain from the dishwasher, and there's also an electrical outlet under there so you can plug it in. As we wrap on around, we have a nice big bank of drawers over here for all of your kitchen utensils, even a larger, deeper drawer at the bottom, maybe for some pots and pans storage. And then we have this really cool trash can setup here. So you got your trash can in here. And then I was like, man, what do you do with this spot back here? And Susan pointed out, well, that's where you would put your extra trash bags, so that when you pull one out of here, you just pull your bag out and put it in your trash can and you're all good to go. So kind of a neat setup. Then we have this drawer here, which is just kind of a utility drawer, but it's got your paper towel holder in here as well. So you could pull it out and set it up on the counter and use it that way, or I guess you could just leave it in here and pull them out as you need them. But really this is for travel mode, because if any of you know, and we know this from our Class C RV, if you just have a roll of paper towels hanging under your cabinet and you go driving down the road, they're going to unroll over time. So you want to avoid that. So this is all really nicely done, and it's really just all fancy cabinet pieces and parts that you can buy. I used to buy cabinets from Reico, R-E-I-C-O. I know they're on the East Coast. I don't know about the rest of the country, but all they do is sell cabinets and cabinet hardware, and you can do almost all of this stuff with all the parts and pieces that they offer. So if you want to upgrade your own camper, all that stuff's available to be able to go ahead and do it. Now, across from the kitchen area here, we have a really great size pantry here. The bottom shelf of the pantry has a pull-out drawer with it. The upside of these is it is convenient to reach things because you have the drawer here. So things that you get very often you would want to put here because you can access the back of the drawer to easily find them. The downside of it is you lose 2 inches, 2.5 inches of storage on the inside of the cabinet because, you know, this has to fit inside and there's more room here that we're not using. So it's a little bit of a give and a take. Above that though, we just have some thick shelves where you have plenty of space and you can reach in here and grab things out. Now, there are no lights inside of here, and I know in our pantry cabinet it's kind of dark. So we just bought a couple of puck lights that are battery operated, and they can either be motion sensor or you can buy the touch kind that you touch them and they turn right on and light. But you might want to put some of those on the ceiling in here, and then that way if you reach in to get stuff, at least you'll have a light that pops on for you. It's always fun to add little stuff to make your RV a little bit more convenient and enjoyable. Same thing down the bottom here, another drawer that fully extends for good access, and then more storage below that. Now when we get to the refrigerator, this is really interesting. The latches to open the refrigerator are all the way at the top. Now again, this is a couples camper, so if it's just me and Susan in here, who cares, right? It's just me and her going in. But if you have the grandkids visiting, they're not going to be able to get into your refrigerator. So maybe that's a good thing, maybe not. I don't know. You have to decide. But the latches are all the way up top. So that's how you open it up. And then you've got plenty of room inside of your refrigerator here. And then down below that is where the freezer is. And this is a little bit smaller of a freezer. It's, these bottom freezers are never as big as we would like them to be. But you could certainly keep plenty of frozen items in there. And if the grandkids were visiting, they could at least access this area to grab a popsicle, which our grandkids would do nonstop. Now we are in our theater area here. And so, wow, I've already popped. I guess it didn't latch all the way when I was done sitting in it earlier. Normally you have to pull this little lever here on the side and then the bottom pops out and then you can recline your seat. I was sitting in here relaxing for a while and just getting a feel for the camper. But anyway, it's very, very comfortable. It's got a couple of cup holders here, a middle section here, which is very important because all of your remote controls go right there and you won't lose them that way. And you can get back pretty far and relax and be able to watch a TV or a movie or whatever it is you want to do while you're reclining here. So very, very comfortably set up and very nicely done. Now, the recliners above them have a couple of windows here. One of them is your emergency exit window, but even though it's an emergency exit window, you can still use it and get ventilation in and through your camper. So don't be afraid to do that. I've got both windows open now, and the emergency exit window actually opens bigger. So that's kind of neat. Above here, you have a couple of lights that shine down on you. You've got a wall switch right here for that, so you can turn them on and off as needed. There's also an electrical outlet with a USB and C port built into it. So if you're sitting here in the recliners and you need to recharge your phone, tablet, computer, what have you, you've certainly got access to it there. And then we have this beautiful side window as well. Just floods the whole area with plenty of light, and it looks really, really great. Now I do want to point out, this entire area that includes the theater seating and the refrigerator and the pantry is all in a slide out. And so even when this stuff comes sliding all the way back into the RV, you can still access your bathroom, and you still have full access to your refrigerator, and you can still access your microwave and stove. So you're in great shape when you're in travel mode if you want to pull over for lunch or use the bathroom. However, with the slide in the in position, it's going to come in about 36 inches, which means it's going to come all the way to the edge of this countertop, which is right here. So with this slide in, let's say you're going to spend the night at a Cracker Barrel, you're not going to be able to get into your bedroom unless you can put the slide out. Now, we stay in Cracker Barrels all the time, and we have to put our slide out to be able to use our bed, and that's really never a problem. We just park in the parking lot so that this side of the RV is up against the curb, and that way when the slide's out, there's no chance of anyone running into it by accident or anything along those lines. So, you know, you just have to strategically park, if you will, to make that happen. So here we are in the owner's bedroom, all the way in the front of this trailer, and there are some really cool features in here that we're going to want to point out with you. So first of all, starting with the bed area up top here, you've got these 3 cabinet doors that open up. Now this is really one big cabinet here that goes all the way across the front of this rig, but it's got ample storage in there, plenty of room for all your storage needs. Underneath of this, we have these beautiful wall sconces that are here that you can use to light up and use as reading lights. They're a little bit unusual. You can't really move them around unless you undo the screws to be able to directionally move them. But nonetheless, it's great to have a light on each side of the bed, and so you can have a nice reading light. And then we have this beautiful window in the front of the trailer that just lights up the whole room. Of course, it's got a privacy shade, so you can lower that or raise it when you're sleeping, but it's really a great feature to have. I think it just opens up the room and just makes it feel so much more bright, light, and airy in here. I really like it. On each side of the bed, we have these really nice end tables, very spacious and large, and you can open up both sides and they just flip right up, and that gives you this nice large storage area underneath. And then on the front of each of the end tables, there's an electrical outlet complete with USB and C ports, so you can plug in all of your electronic devices, including even a CPAP. There's plenty of room for all of that in here as well. Now, under the bed is one of the neatest features in the RV. I'm going to point to this picture up top here because you get this storage area under the bed. Now, it's all wrapped up because we're on a dealer's lot, so it doesn't look as good as the picture here yet, but you have a hamper on one side, you've got a couple of adjustable shelves on the other side, and then you actually have a bar under the bed so you can hang your garments here, and even when you lower the bed, it's deep enough that all your garments will hang up nicely. And then here's what it looks like. So we have our adjustable shelves on this side. This is where the chairs stow away for the dinette. I was sitting in one out there earlier in the video. And then you've got a hamper down here that sets up on the other side. And then here is your hanging rack where you can hang up any items on a hanger. And when you lower the bed down, it's deep enough in here, they'll just hang right there for you. And then this is always open because this front doesn't really have a door on it. So when you lower the bed back down, you know, it just stays open and it gets airflow and all that stuff. So your clothes stay nice and fresh. Now, let's get a measurement on the bed since we're looking at this now. And this is a bamboo kind of mattress. It's sort of a foam mattress. And when I laid on this, it was extremely firm. So although it's better than most mattresses that come in an RV, it may not suit your needs for what you're looking for because it is pretty firm. Now, in our RV, in our Class C RV particularly, we have a setup where we have what's called a corner cut mattress or a corner rounded mattress. And this mattress is no different. On the corners, they're not square, they're rounded on both ends. And they do that so that you can easily scooch around the bed, you know, when you're getting in and out of bed. If it had a corner, it would make it a little tighter to get around here. So they have 2 rounded edges. So if you want to get a mattress that's a really good quality mattress and it's customizable so you can do the radius cuts on both of the bottom ends of the mattress, there's only one place to go that's really, really great, and that's Tokta Mattress. And they make custom size RV mattresses. You can do the radius edges, you can do corner cuts, all kinds of things. They'll make it to fit your RV. So if you want to save 7% on your Tokta mattress, just use discount code RVBlogger7 when you go to their website, and it's spelled TOCHTA.com. Or I invite you to sign up with the over 165,000 people that have signed up for our weekly newsletters, because every week I'll send out information about great products like this, and if we use it in our RV and we really love it, we recommend it, and chances are I've reached out to that company and I've gotten some sort of a discount code. So also, if you sign up for the newsletter, you'll have my email address and you can hit me up. Hey Mike, I need a mattress. What do you recommend? And do you have a discount code? I'll email you back with everything that you need to know. So we invite you to join up. All you have to do is go to RVBlogger.com. Right on the home page, you can sign up to receive all that fun stuff. Now, next to me here is where you've got another wardrobe cabinet here. There's a bar on top where you can hang your garments, and there's a removable shelf here in the middle, so you can use it either as a wardrobe or a regular cabinet. And then you've got this nice bank of drawers down here that pull out so you can stow away even more items there. Up here is where your TV is going to mount on the wall. You've got your cable, satellite, and power outlets up there. And then you have a few nice coat hooks on the wall here just to make it look nice. You could, I don't know, hang a towel, a coat, a jacket, a sweater, a fleece, whatever you need. I know I like to get up in the morning. I have my fleece that I put on, so that would be hanging here, and Susan's little robe would be hanging here, and there you go. As far as the rest of the bedroom goes, there is a window on each side, and these windows do open so you can get a nice cross breeze through here with some fresh air as well. So Susan's kind of moved out of the way because I'm making my way across here. One thing that Brinkley does really nice, and I wish a lot of other companies would do it, and you can do this at home too. Anywhere there's a cabinet that's maybe going to bump into something like the wall, all they've done is on the inside of your cabinet doors, you have what are called cabinet bumps. They're just rubber that stick to the inside of the cabinet doors. These are clear, and we recommend you buy clear ones. Well, they just took one of those little bumps and put it on the wall here, so when you open your door, your hardware doesn't hit the wall. Everything stays safe, and it doesn't get all scratched up. So really nice feature that we noticed that Brinkley does in their rigs. And the final thing is, let's get a measurement on the bed. I totally forgot to measure it because I was talking about all the other fun stuff. So this bed is, I'm going to call it 79 inches, just 1 inch short of 80. And I'm sure it's 60 inches wide. No, it's more. It's actually 65 inches wide. So this is a very, very custom sized mattress. And I didn't even realize that because this is the first time I'm measuring it. So it's not wide enough to be considered a king. It's 1 inch short of being a residential size, so it's almost a king size mattress in here. But again, if you needed a custom size mattress, you can get a hold of our friends at Tokta. Now here we are in the bathroom, which is all the way in the back of this travel trailer. It was on the left hand side when we first came in through the entry door, and since it goes the whole width of the trailer, it's a really nice sized bathroom. Now the shower here, I love it. It's got, you know, a nice shower frame. It's got the glass doors that pull across. It just feels very nice and residential. The fit and finish is just outstanding in here. But inside the shower itself, you've got this really nice shower head set up. So you have a fixed shower head in place, and then you also have a shower wand that you can use. So that's terrific. You know, you have both ways of using it that may suit you the best. And it's got a little basket here in the corner to store some soaps and shampoos. I like the style of this basket because instead of having a solid bottom to it, which can get like soap scum and stuff in there, it's just all wire all the way around the bottom, so everything will just drip through and stay much cleaner for you. There's also a little shelf here and a little corner shelf down there that you could use for additional soap and shampoo. And there's even a seat behind me here. So if you didn't use the seat, you could throw stuff on there. But if you need a seat, it's available. If you want to put your leg up here and shave your legs, that works out really well too. So let's get some measurements while I'm in here. Now, this unit doesn't have a skylight overhead, but it's got a skylight overhead. It's just not a light. It's just a bump in the ceiling to give you extra headroom. And I've never seen that before. Most companies just go ahead and put a skylight in there instead of just sort of a ceiling raiser. But the reason they do that is because they have to lift the shower floor off of the floor of the camper to allow room for the drain trap to work. So if you lose height, you lose some ceiling height because I'm standing up off the floor, they put a skylight up here to give you more ceiling height above. Now, the total height inside of here is, gosh, 6 feet 5.5 inches. The total ceiling height throughout the entire RV is 6 feet 10 inches. So you got a lot of ceiling height. If you're a taller person, I think you would be able to fit in this rig very, very comfortably. Now, Susan and I just switched places. She's standing in the shower and I'm out in the rest of the bathroom, but you can see how nice everything looks here. First of all, up top, we've got a really large mirror here. Now, this mirror is backlit as well. Of course, I can't turn it on because we're in the middle of a parking lot with no power, but that's a really nice feature to have. I know the ladies like that. For me, I would probably buy a medicine cabinet and put it here because I'm more interested in putting away all of our stuff and not having it all over the countertops. But it's up to you, however you want to make your RV work. Next to that, we have a little towel ring here, electrical outlet as well. And then we have lots of countertop space, a really great size vanity sink in here, and a beautiful faucet to go with it. So very nicely done. I love how they extend the countertop all the way around the bathroom. It just pulls everything together. Up top here, big size cabinet here for all your linens, towels, extra TP, all that good stuff. And then we even have a window in the bathroom that does open up. So if you want to get additional airflow in here, they certainly have that for you too. There's also another outlet over here. So you really have two in this bathroom. So I don't know what you would use that one for, but if you need it, you have it. Then they have a couple of these really nifty little towel hooks in here. They're kind of cool. And then I think I mentioned open storage behind the commode. And then you've got a nice bank of drawers here. And then even more storage, plenty of it, underneath of the vanity sink. Now, with this style of door that opens up into this bathroom, this is just a pocket door, right? You can see it goes into the doorway here. One thing to keep aware of when you have this kind of door lock, and we speak from experience, if you put your finger here, let's say, you know, to unlatch the door from the other side, and you go to close it and you forget to pull your finger, bam, it's going to get pinched and cut inside of here. Susan knows that firsthand. The same kind of lock is also on the bedroom door because that's a pocket door as well. So just be aware of it. I wouldn't say don't buy the trailer because of it. Just be aware of it so you don't cut your fingers when you're opening and closing your doors. Now, as far as the elbow test goes in here, I'm not really going to pass the elbow test, but there's plenty of room inside this bathroom and it feels really nice and big in here. Now here we are all the way at the front of this travel trailer, and underneath of the owner's bed you've got this large pass-through storage area, which is really great. There's a lot of room in here and you can access it from both sides of your camper, so that's great. In addition, there's also a shower, what do you call it, honey? A shower port on both sides of this RV. One over there by Susan and there's another one over here by me. The reason there's one over here is because this is also your wet bay. It's where you would hook up your city water when you pull into your campground. So it's kind of nice to have two shower ports, one on each side of the RV. That certainly makes things very, very convenient. And I love the flooring that they put down in here. It's this nice rubber floor. You really can't hurt it or anything, and it's perfect for a storage area. Hey guys, we just want to take a second and thank our friends at General RV for allowing us to stop by and shoot some tours of all of their awesome inventory that they have here. General RV has locations all across the USA. Stop on by and check them out when you have a chance. They are some of the friendliest people that you'll ever meet in the RV industry. This travel trailer is the Brinkley Model Z Air 295. The MSRP is $86,620. but you should not pay that. The unloaded vehicle weight is 9,168 pounds. The cargo carry capacity is a very impressive 2,827 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 11,995 pounds. The hitch weight is 870 pounds. It measures in at 34 feet 9 inches long, and it can sleep up to 6 people. The gray tank holds 80 gallons, the black tank holds 40 gallons, and the freshwater tank capacity is 62 gallons. When you first walk into this RV, on your right-hand side, you'll find the owner's bedroom and the mid-bath. Then we wrap on around through the kitchen, dinette, and entertainment area, and behind me here through this door is the bunk room. Now, our first impression when we walked into this travel trailer is that it is a fantastic camper for a family. It's got everything that you need in here, and it's really set up kind of more like a fifth wheel than a travel trailer, but it is a travel trailer, so it's easily towable, and all the features in here are really terrific and convenient. I guess we'll start right here in the kitchen area. Starting up top here, when you first walk in the door, you've got a couple of coat hooks here on the wall so you can hang up your keys, coats, hats, whatever. And then they've got a false door here which hides all of your controls, but at least they're out of sight, and I just think that's a really nice finish rather than having the controls displayed. Under this door, we've got all of your circuit breakers here and all of your fuses next to it. By the way, for your fuses, I just recommend you stop at any auto parts store and get a mix of fuses. These are all 15s and a 30, but you know, it never hurts to keep a bunch of fuses on hand. You need them for either your car or maybe even your travel trailer. And it'd be a shame to be stuck without them when you need them. Now, as we wrap on around through, you'll notice there's a lot of countertop space in here. It just feels really great. You've got this wonderful backsplash here. Looks beautiful. Above that, tons and tons of cabinet space. You've got the soft close cabinet doors, so you don't have to hear the kids slamming and banging the cabinets all the time. But lots of space in here. The shelves that are in here are fixed. They're not adjustable, but there are some other cabinets where they are, and I'll show you those as we work our way through the tour. Also underneath of here, you've got a couple of LED lights underneath, and then there's an electrical outlet on both ends of this cabinet. So if you want to set this up as your coffee bar or plug in a toaster or have your margarita blender going, call us if you do. We'll stop on by and check it out. But you have plenty of room for everything here. And then you have this really large single bowl sink with a beautiful faucet overhead. And this is also a sprayer as well. The backsplash here is very nice. I wish they had extended it around to this wall, because if you're washing dishes and stuff, it's likely, at least if I was doing the dishes, that water would get on that wall somehow. Susan doesn't know how I do it, but you know, I'm an expert. Anyway, if the backsplash was here, it would make this wall a little more maintenance-free as well. Underneath of your kitchen sink, you've got this open area here. I guess you could put, I don't know, sponges or spices, or I don't know. What would you put in here? I'm very curious to know what you might stick there. But underneath of this, you've got even a little bit more storage here. It's kind of not very deep, but you could certainly fit some stuff under there. Now, Brinkley does a nice job. They'll use, you know, cabinet bumps that you'll find on the corners of the inside of your cabinet doors. Probably not in your travel trailer, but at home, you'll have these little door bumps. You can add those to all the cabinets in your travel trailer, and it'll sound a lot better when people close the cabinet doors. But what they did is they took one of these little round bumps, put it on the back of this piece of hardware, because when you open this door, it may hit the fridge. And so this keeps your fridge from getting dented and just keeps things a lot nicer. Then we have this beautiful bank of drawers here, fully extendable so you can reach everything. And then on the end, even more storage space there. Now, as we wrap on around through here, we get to where the refrigerator and the stovetop and the pantry are located. Now, these are all located in a slide out. And so the slide out will come in somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 feet. So when that comes in 2 feet, that's almost to this countertop. You will not be able to access your freezer when you're in travel mode, but you will be able to access your refrigerator. So if you wanted to make a sandwich or have some lunch, great, but you can't get in your freezer to get any ice. Just something to note while you're cruising on down the road. But I will say the refrigerator and freezer are an excellent size. Tons of room in here, and you can even keep a bag of ice in here and keep plenty of ice on hand. Moving across here, we have two cabinets on either side of the microwave, and they both have a bump on the handle because they can bump into the cabinetry on the side. So great job making sure, and we have paperwork blowing around in here. Great job making sure to keep everything looking new and not getting dented. The microwave itself is a really, really large size. So that's a fantastic spot for it. And then below that here, we've got this 3-burner cooktop range with just a lot of countertop space on both sides. Plus you've got the window over top. You have an electrical outlet here if you need it, and there's one on the other end under the cabinet there. We have lights on both sides underneath, plus lights out here in front to light up this whole area for you. So I think they've thought of everything here, and it looks really great. Also, underneath the cooktop, you have a real oven here, so if you want to do some baking, cookies, pies, whatever, call me for that too. After I'm done my margarita, I'll have a slice of pie. Then you've got some full extension drawers on each side, and then on this side over here you have some additional cabinet space. Now just beyond the cooktop here, we have this very large pantry cabinet with all adjustable shelves in here, which is really, really fantastic. There's also a couple of electrical outlets in here. I don't know why they're there. In the manufacturer's paperwork, it says that it's appliance ready, but I don't know what appliance you would put in here. I was thinking washer and dryer, but there's no water hookups and there's no place for a vent. So I'm not sure what the appliance would be. If you know, let us know in the comments down below. Now here we are at the island that sits in the middle of this kitchen, and I think this is really great. This is sort of what makes it feel like a fifth wheel in here. That, and you've got slide outs on both sides, so it's really nice and roomy. But starting right up top here, you've got these beautiful fixtures hanging down from the ceiling, nicely trimmed and appointed. It just looks really nice. Then you have a great looking solid surface top, and then a couple of drawers here. Now this drawer even includes your paper towel holder, and you can either leave this on your countertop and pull your towels off, or maybe just keep them in here and pull them off as you need them. But definitely when you go traveling down the road, you want to put your paper towels away. We have a paper towel holder that's under our cabinets in our Class C, and when we drive down the road, it all unravels on us. So this is a really great feature to have. Next to that, another really big drawer here, and they're all fully extendable. They've got the dovetail on the ends of them. Wood cabinets, the bottoms fit into all 4 sides, so they're really, really well constructed. I love the cabinet drawers that they use. Now underneath here, you've got a double trash can set up. I guess you could use one for trash and one for recycle, or both for trash, however you want to do it. And then you've got even more storage space under here. Now another really cool feature is this bar top. Now this will flip up and down as needed, and then instead of having a dinette, you've got a couple of stools in here to be able to sit down and enjoy a meal. So even though this is more of a family style camper, there's not really a place for all 4 people or the whole family to be able to sit down inside and enjoy a meal. It's kind of like it's set up for 2 people. So, you know, but most of the time, you know, you sit outside at your picnic table and enjoy your meals out there anyway. So maybe this is okay the way they have it set up. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about this as well. We would love to hear from you. Now, one other really neat feature they have is a little dog bowl set up, and they've got a couple of collapsible dog bowls that just fit right into the holes here, and then there you go. You can leave them here or take them with you if you needed to. But this is set up on a magnet system. So if you don't have a dog, you can just put this away, and if you do, you can stick it there or on the other side of the island, or wherever you would like to put it. But I think it's really neat and convenient that it's set up on a magnet so that you can move it around to the spot that makes the most sense for you. So here we are sort of at the entertainment area in here, and so we've got a nice big TV overhead here and a shelf over top of that. There's even a little hole that goes through the shelf, so if you need to run an electrical cord up here to light something up, you can. But for doing decorating and stuff like that, it's nice to have a shelf up here. Maybe you put some greenery up there or something like that, make it nice in here. The TV itself, like I mentioned, it's a great size, but if you're sitting on your couch over here, it's not really at a very good angle, but it is on a swivel arm, and so you can pull it out and angle it around and, you know, get it the right distance from the couch so everyone can see it very well. When I first looked at this, I was like, man, you don't want to get stuck sitting in this seat. You're not going to be able to see the TV, but with the TV pulled out at the angle like this, it's perfect. Everyone on this couch will have very good viewing. Now, down below the TV, there's also a fireplace down here, which is a really great feature. We have a fireplace in our Class A RV, and we absolutely love it. Not only does it give us a nice ambiance in here, because, you know, summer nights and all that stuff, we always have our fireplace on. We just like how it looks. But it also serves as a heat source in your rig, and so it'll warm you up nice and toasty in here, that's for sure, especially if you're out there camping in the shoulder seasons. Now, around the fireplace, we've got all this nice cabinetry built in, and, you know, just some shallow storage here on each side, and then some more shallow storage here as well. But it just gives you extra place to store maybe DVDs or books or whatever things you like to cruise around with. Now, the sofa here is very comfortable. I've sat on this quite a bit, and I just love a nice comfy sofa. But each of the end positions, you can pull and recline them out, and they're very comfy. You've got a phone charger here. We got USB and C ports over here. You can heat your seats. You got a spot for your remote controls and everything in here. So all really nicely done. And then on this part of the couch, this seat also reclines, and then this middle piece comes down, and so you can put a couple of cups here because you've got a couple of built-in cup holders. And then you have this here that has an electrical outlet and your USB and C ports as well. Now, behind the couch, you've got all of these windows here. You got 4 windows, 2 of them open up so you can get some ventilation through here, but it's just very nicely done. You know, Brinkley's gone, and they have their square windows instead of the windows that have the rounded corners. Just trying to give you a little bit more of that residential feel inside of your camper. And let's face it, folks, when that's where everything's going, right? If you want to go on vacation, you want to live the life of luxury, or at least feel like you are, you know, you want to feel like you're in a nice accommodation. And so Brinkley, I think, is trying to really raise the bar and make this feel more like a home than a camper, or maybe a vacation condo more than a camper. But also up top, you've got these 4 puck lights that are recessed into the ceiling with a really nice trim kit around it. So everything just looks really beautiful. The fit and finish all around the windows and everything looks terrific. Now, behind the entertainment center here is why we think this is such a great, or one of the reasons why we think this is such a good rig for families, and that's because it actually has a separate bunk room. So many travel trailers just have bunk beds that are exposed in the rest of the trailer, but in this case, the kids get their own room. So you can shut the door on them, and then when they make noise and stuff in here, they're not really bothering you. Or if the kids sleep in later than you do, the door is shut. You're not going to bother them in the morning when you get up to make coffee and breakfast or hang out or whatever. So I love this. I think it's a really great feature, and having the bunks in their own room, really fantastic. Now, the bunks that are in here are what we would call double doubles. They're double wide, and there's one on top of the other, so it's kind of double bunks. You could get 2 kids up top and 2 kids down below, or certainly 1 child in each spot, nice and comfy. Now, when we look at bunk beds, we like to see 4 main features included with a bunk bed setup. One of them is a window, another is a light, and then we like to see an electrical outlet, and then your USB and C ports. And I will say both of these bunks have all 4 of those features, and so it's just a fantastic setup in here. So let's get some measurements and see how big the bunks are. And top bunk is 74 inches, and then the width on it is pretty healthy. It's 52 inches wide. So like I said, 2 kids could sleep up or down very, very easily, or your kids could bring a friend along or whatever they want to do. Now, in addition to having this great sleeping space, Usually when you have bunk beds in a travel trailer, there's no storage space around them. The best you might get is a little bit of storage underneath of the bottom bunk. But in the bunk room here, I have a nice large cabinet up top here with a fixed shelf in the middle. And then you've got this whole bank of drawers here for additional storage. And one other really nice feature in here is that the windows at the end of the bunks both open and close. And so does the window on this side of the bunk room. So you can get some fresh air blowing through here as well. And if that's not enough, there is even a TV location in here with an outlet and a cable coming out of the ceiling, so you could mount a TV on the wall back here. So if the kids want to jump up in the upper bunk and watch TV together, they can do that too. So here we are in the front of this travel trailer, all the way in the front in the owner's bedroom. And you can see you've got all this beautiful cabinetry built in all the way around the bed. Now on each side there is a nice large wardrobe cabinet with a little cubby space up above here to store some things. And then you can hang all your garments in here as well. There's also a couple of drawers that pull out on each side so you can stow everything away. And then there's an electrical outlet on the front edge of all of this cabinetry. Behind the cabinetry, there's also a little cubby back here, and that also has an electrical outlet and USB and C ports, and it has a switch for this light, and the other side has a switch for their reading light in their cubby hole. So that's a great little setup. Now Susan brought up something really interesting. That since we're at the front of the trailer sort of slopes back and into the room, and she was like, you know, I don't know how comfortable I would be sleeping sort of in this kind of triangle that it makes here, but you know, let's just find out. I'm gonna lay down on here, and you know, I think it's okay, hon. I think you'd be able to do it. It doesn't feel weird. It doesn't feel like you're claustrophobic at all, and so I think it would be just fine the way it's set up. And then we have this open shelf above me here, and you know, you can store a few things up there. I don't know what. It's kind of a small shelf. But for those of you that are into knickknacks, there you go. Now let's check out how big this bed is. We haven't measured this yet, and let's see what's going on here. Well, I can tell right away we've got a radius cut mattress. That means that there's a radius cut. Instead of having a corner here, it's cut at a circular pattern on each corner, and that just makes getting around the bed a little easier when you're scooching around here to get out. So that's why they have the corners on here the way they do. So let's get a measurement more to the middle. And so our bed is coming in at just shy of 80 inches. It's like 79 inches. And then the width on here is 60 inches. So, you know, you could get an 80-inch mattress in here. We'll call it a residential queen size bed in here. Now above the bed you've even got more storage here, and this is all one big cabinet that's open, and it's got 3 doors, but plenty of room up here for additional storage. And then under the bed you can lift this up, and what they've done here is made it so you can lift the bed and then easily access these drawers that are on the side. Also, the front of this is open, so maybe you could kick your shoes under here, and then, you know, they put these little cushions here so you can sit down, grab your shoes, maybe put those on. I'm not positive about that, but that seems to be how it is to me. And then this is all like a nice felt finish in here, so maybe if you have some valuables, you know, watches, jewelry, stuff like that, you could keep it here so it's not as visible. But they also have a safe built in here. This big black door under me has a lock on it, or you can just push that and lift it right up. And then if you have any other valuables, you can stow them under there and you know, lock them up if you need to. Now this is not a fireproof safe, so I don't recommend this for like passports and really valuable documents that you need to keep. I highly recommend you get a fireproof safe and, you know, hide that somewhere and install it in your rig. I actually wrote an article about that on our website over at RVBlogger.com about the best places and the best safes to buy for RVs, and then where to put them in your RV so they're hidden away and safe. And they're also mounted in the RV so the safe can't be stolen. But this is a fantastic idea, great use of space. And I really love it. Brinkley's done a good job thinking of some neat ways to create extra space and just make your whole living environment in here so much more user friendly. Now, next to me here is a really nice size cabinet that's in here. It's got fixed shelves in here as well. And when we go in the bathroom, you'll see that you can actually access this same cabinet from in the bathroom as well. So that's kind of a nifty setup if you have, I don't know, towels in here or things you need to access from the bathroom. You could set it up that way. And then below that, we have a bank of drawers. They're fully extendable, so you even have more storage there. Now your TV mounts right up here, and so it's the perfect spot to be able to lay in bed at night and watch TV as you drift off to sleep. And then they've got a couple of, you know, you could hang your robe up here or a jacket or whatever you like, and there you go. It's just a neat place to be able to hang things. Now here we are in the bathroom, which is, I will call it a mid-bath because it's kind of towards the middle of the trailer. But it's a very good sized bathroom, and I love the way it's all done. First of all, I'm standing in the shower like I usually do. And the one thing you'll notice is this nice shower frame and the glass doors that are in here. I think that's terrific. It's easy to take care of. It's not a shower curtain, and it looks really fantastic. Then we have this upgraded shower system that's in here. It's got a nice big shower head up top, 2 body sprayers that'll just shoot right at you, give you a nice massage while you're getting ready to go for your day, and then you have a detachable shower wand as well. So there is no reason not to come out of here at least really wet. Now, in the front of this shower, there's a basket here for some of your soaps and shampoos. You've also got a small ledge and a corner shelf. And then behind me here, there is a small seat that you can use, or you can put your leg up there to shave your legs, whatever you want to do. Now, let's get some measurements in here. Let's get our ceiling height to start with. And inside the shower, up into the skylight, gosh, we have 80 inches of height in here. So that would be, what, 6 feet, 8 inches of head height. And then out here for the regular camper all the way through, you've got 7 feet of head height. So for you taller folks with a residential size bed, and then you've got all the room in the shower, and the normal ceiling height is very high, this could be a really, really great choice for you. I almost forgot to get the length and width of the shower while I'm in here. We've been trying to do a better job of doing that for all of our viewers that have asked us to do it, especially our buddy Aaron. So the depth on this shower is 27 inches. That's really great. And the width on it is 40 inches. So very, very good size shower. And you guys can just see me in here. I mean, I'm 5'11", I weigh about $190, and you know, I have plenty of room to move around. I'd be able to wash myself very, very comfortably. Now Susan's standing in the shower and I'm out in the bathroom, and I'm standing at the vanity area. Starting from the top here, they have this really large mirror, and this is one of those backlit mirrors, so when you're putting on your makeup and all that, you can see yourself really, really well. I would prefer a medicine cabinet here, but I'm sure all you ladies would prefer a nice mirror with a great light behind it. This is where the door is that goes into the cabinet that I just showed you in the bedroom a few minutes ago. It also has a cabinet bump on the handle, so if you do hit the glass with it, at least there's a little piece of rubber there to keep the handle from breaking the glass. So good job on all your design work, Brinkley. I really like it. Then we have a nice little towel ring up here, and then your vanity top, really a good amount of cabinet space here. I like the rectangular vanity sinks instead of the round ones. You just get more space with that. That way, maybe there's less opportunity for water to end up all over the countertop, and I'm sure Susan is all for that. Over here on the right-hand side, we have an electrical outlet, so if you need to plug in your blow dryer and stuff, you can certainly do that. And then down below the sink, there's storage there. And then you've got this bank of 3 small drawers that you can store more personal items in as well. So here I am sitting on the commode in the bathroom. Susan's standing out in the hallway or in the doorway to the bedroom. But above me here, we have a nice shelf up there so you can stow some things away. A few towel hooks overhead here. And then check out this toilet paper holder. It's actually mounted against the wall by a magnet because this is all metal. And you put your toilet paper on here, and then this little piece is for extra TP rolls. You just drop them right on there, and this whole thing goes back here, and just see that little round magnet? It just sticks right to it. So you can pull your TP from there, or If you get in here and you want to set it up so it's in front of you, I guess you could do that too. But it's very, very convenient. Now, as far as passing the elbow test in here goes, I'm not quite going to pass, but there's so much room and it's a nice big bathroom in here that we really don't have to worry about that at all. Now here we are at the very back of this travel trailer, and they have this really nice storage compartment. This is all located underneath of the bottom bunk inside the bunk room. And so it's just fantastic. I mean, you have 2 doors to access your storage area. The doors are very, very large, which makes getting all your camping gear in and out of here much easier. There's also 2 lights, and there's also 2 power outlets in this storage area as well. And I love the rubber floor that they have in here. It's kind of grippy and you really can't hurt it with all of your camping gear back here. Now, I do want to point one thing out, and that is when you go to open this one back door, if the window for the lower bunk inside is in the open position, when you open up the door won't be able to go back far enough to hit the magnets to stay in the up position. So here we are at the very front of the travel trailer, and there's even more storage up here. Underneath of the bed from side to side, you've got this very large storage area. It's got a door on the other side so you can access everything from both sides. In addition, there's a shower port on both sides of this rig. So if you wanted to rinse anything off on the campsite or on the other side of your rig, you can easily do that. Hey guys, let us know what you like or don't like about the travel trailers that we just reviewed in this video. We would love to hear all of your thoughts and comments, things you might do to change them up, make them better, or things you wish they had done differently. But just remember, we're not the only ones that read your comments, and we do read them all. The manufacturers also come onto our site to see what all of our viewers are saying about their products. So leave your comments down below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're interested in even more RVs, just click the box down below, and Susan and I will see you in the next video.